much less to spend compared to the other years. So from a player within the industry, I want you to help us understand, as we go into the festive season, what has been the impact of that to the business?
Okay, so generally we know that there's been there's been a lot of people who have been talking about about the cost of living and the new taxes that are being introduced, which is reducing their disposable income. But we must understand the fact that if His Excellency the President and his entire administration are introducing new taxes, is because they understand and they have a vision in place. And therefore, we must respect that vision, and sometimes hard decisions need to be made. Now, in line at the moment, as we look at it, yes, as we have the current market who believe, who understand this and have tried to overcome it by doing some other side hustles to be able to top up on whatever they are now receiving less. And these are people who have agreed and understood the fact that this is the rule of the day. And rather than complaining about it, they work around it. And it is because of that December season is still showing very positive, is still showing very optimistic. Keeping in mind that during COVID, people suffered a lot and people realized that, they don't want to sit at home anymore. They want to enjoy the magical experiences and they want to explore Kenya. We personally, as Pride in hotels, resorts and camps, have seen that ever since after COVID happened, there's been a big and phenomenal growth within the domestic tourism, which only tells you that people are looking at exploring Kenya more. Yeah. But with the current inflation and with the dollar rate going higher, means that international going out of the country has become a lot more expensive because of where the dollar rate is. And therefore, people have opted to instead stay back in Kenya and enjoy the local, what the local experience is, what magical Kenya has to offer.
Now, from a lot of these players, one of the things that they were calling for particularly is the issue of collaboration. Now, as Jumuiya ya County za Pwani, one of the things that you have also been talking about is how to harness with the different potential of different counties to particularly grow the tourism in this sector. Could you take us through the numbers and the potential of tourists that we could see coming into the country if all these counties came together to push for the same product?
You see, one of the key things is that the government has set a vision of 5.5 million by 2027. To achieve the 5.5 million, we cannot just rely on what we are currently selling, which is on the current circuits that we are selling. At the moment, we have successfully marketed Kenya in terms of as a wildlife destination. But Kenya is a land that has everything under the roof, under its roof. Whether you talk about marine wildlife, safaris, whether you talk about desert adventure, anything and everything that you can think of, Kenya has availability. What is important, and my personal thoughts and views are, that there has to be, KTB has been very successful in creating the Tembea Kenya experience. However, I think one of the areas as to where we see opportunities is, we have several counties that have some fantastic tourism experiences. But those tourism experiences are hidden. They have not been talked about. And the reason why I believe they have not been talked about is maybe the importance of tourism hasn't been understood. So I personally believe that this is where, as tourism experts, along with the Kenya Tourism Board, we need to try and see how we can travel to county to be able to create the awareness, to be able to educate the leadership team of the county and how tourism can impact their counties, how tourism can grow employment in their counties, how tourism can help them collect taxes. Once everyone understands the ripple effect of tourism, you will see that the passion for tourism will start coming in, and you'll see every county leader, every county governor and its entire leadership team will start looking at it. We need to have a whole different thought process. We need to have a KTB representative in every county so that they are working with KTB to be able to highlight the various tourism experiences. And once those experiences have been highlighted, even counties have to participate into the various trade shows, into the various expos. And if we all work together in terms of as partnership within the private and the public, and if there's a lot of collaboration, and we're able to understand the various aspects of tourism that we want to grow, this country's potential is huge. And personally, at the moment, what I see is for the next 5-10 years, the potential for Africa, the potential is Kenya is exponential, it's crazy. It's low-hanging fruit. All it's waiting for is for us to tap into it.
All right. Can we talk about the investment particularly? Now, we have seen the hotels preparing and a lot of investment going into the sector. You yourself have actually gone through a rebrand just recently. So the question that then comes to mind is, does this then goes on to show the confidence that you have in the recovery of the sector? Because from the numbers that we are seeing from KTB, that is the Kenya Tourism Board, one of the things that they are saying is that the tourism sector has recovered upwards of more than 90%.
I would say that the potential is a lot more. And we are personally very optimistic, and we are continuously going to invest in this country. We believe that as a Kenyan brand, which is managed and run by Kenyans, we believe we owe it to this country. And we are going to ensure that we keep on doing what we're supposed to do. And I would take this opportunity to also advise other potential investors. Let's think about tourism and the impact. So if you're looking at the various aspects and you are a potential investor and you're looking at investing, we see a lot of times investors quickly run to creating housings or office commercial spaces because people don't have the knowledge. People are still shy about hotels. And as Kenyans, it is not just the government's duty. As every Kenyan, it is our duty. We need to invest in tourism. We need to create tourism experiences. So if you're looking at investing in tourism, this is the time.
All right, and of course, Hasnain, I'm hoping that come next year, we'll be looking at the returns on these investments that is going into the industry. And of course, there you have it. Now, you will remember that the tourism sector, particularly in Kenya, contributes about 8.8% of the country's GDP. Will that improve over time? Of course, we'll be here to give you more details as to what happens in the coming years. But for now, back to you.
Thank you very much, Jimmy. You started your festivities very early, my friend. But yeah, it's a good thing. Anyway, let's talk banking now.